Okay, so now we're going to look at planes and axes of motion. So remember the stance we had in one of the first classes? What we want to do now is think about that term, the midline. So the midline was an imaginary line that divided the body into a left and right. Now we're going to start talking about a concept called planes. And planes can divide bodies into left and right, into front and back, or into top and bottom. So imagine we've taken a scalpel or a sharp knife and we've cut a body into a left and right. The plane that divides that body into left and right is called a sagittal plane. So a sagittal divides the body into left and right. It could be an equal left and right, or it could be an unequal left and right. But it's a cut that divides the body into a left and a right part. That is called a sagittal plane. Another plane can divide the body into an anterior and posterior part, or into a front and a back part. So if you cut through me, and you can push my nose and my eyes forward, and the back of my cranium backwards, you have cut me through what we call a frontal plane. A frontal plane divides the body into a front and a back. And the last plane that I want to mention at this point is a plane that can divide the body into a top part and a bottom part, into a superior and an inferior part. So imagine you took a knife and you cut me right across my neck so that you separated my head from the rest of my body. That cut that came right across and through would be called a transverse plane. So the plane that separates the bodies into top parts and bottom parts is called a transverse plane. So the three planes that we've covered is a plane that cuts the body into a left and right, a sagittal, a front and a back, a frontal, and a top and a bottom, which is a transverse plane. In class, in the next shoot, we'll talk about the axes. The axes are quite involved, and a lot of students get lost on those, so I'm going to use a novel way of looking at it, jelly beans and babies, to show you how you can do that at home. So that will be some food for thought in our next video.